Good morning, sir. Thank you for sparing your time with us today. I would like to introduce myself. I am Jeremy Campus, and I will be the one to conduct this interview. So we have a few questions to ask you, sir, about your background and experiences as an event planner. So before we begin, sir, if you don't mind, can you please tell us your name and how long since you started being at birthday planner?
Alright, so good morning everyone. Good morning. By the way, I am Jeremy Solomon Grosso. I am a licensed architect and I'm a professional teacher. And I've been into this business since I was in high school. I started organizing, doing events when I was still in high school. But I was not focused on that business, and as such until I was in college. That's the time that I really have to focus on that. Okay? So that was just a part-time event coordinating and planning. So when I was in high school, so I've been in this business for more than a decade already, and what I love this work is just that I enjoyed so much doing or having this dynamic environment. So, but right now I am more focused on being a teacher. But then again, I wouldn't stop that kind of business. If I do have time, I still continue accepting and organizing the events, especially if I have free time.
Let's proceed to our first question. So, how did you initially venture into event planning, and what inspired you to pursue this profession?
Well, I initially entered the event planning driven by passion of creating a more dynamic environment or creating more experiences. So I started, as I said a while ago, I started being an event planner and organizer when I was still in high school. And I pursued this because I find happiness and satisfaction when I'm doing something. So this is really what I love, organizing and having connections with different people. So up until now, even if I'm already a teacher, if I do have time, if I still manage, if during summer vacation, I organize, I accept a lot of invitations of organizing events and plannings.
So what types of event do you normally cater in?
I have I cater diverse type of events such as wedding, corporate, community celebrations, and so many things. In fact, only funeral activity I have never tried, but most likely I have been into different events already because I've been to business for how many years already. So here I have already tried most of the events.
You also...
No, actually before I was already a tourism officer in our local government unit in Manila. That's why one of the factors that I consider doing organizing events is that being in the tourism industry, you really have to, because a lot of people really expect as a tourism officer to really do events, organizing events. So yes, I have tried different and diverse events.
Can you tell us or discuss some of the common challenges you face when planning an event?
Well, actually, every time that I handle events, there are so many challenges that it will not. But I try it as something that is more a challenging one because yes, you encounter a lot of challenges. One, of course, the resources. Number two, of course, you meet different people from different walks of life, different personalities. And of course, there are instances that you will be working with suppliers that they're not really into, or they're not really sincere with the work. But I take these challenges as a lesson, because every now and then I see to it that at the end of the day, after doing all of these events, after doing all the activities, I learned something. And that's one thing that you really have to learn, because by that, you grow and you become better. So far, I had only 3, I guess. One in the morning, in the afternoon, and the evening. But during the evening, it's no longer that I'm the one organizing it, but I asked somebody from my team. Okay? Siguro, in the morning, I ask somebody, I do the planning, but I ask them, I distribute the labors, who will take charge of in the morning, who will take charge in the afternoon, and in the evening. But I'm more into, I am a hands-on person. I see to it that I am there, I will guide them, especially for newbies who are new in this business, and for especially those people who have the same passion with me, na makita na ko na they are really growing and they are really learning. Okay? So when I was working in LGU as tourism officer, I work in the morning, the whole day, and at the same time, we organize events like I attend meetings, I organize meetings, and I organize a program in the afternoon, and in the evening, I also attended some events, like I organize a program. So that's really the thing that I work as an event organizer. So you get your networks and your connections will become bigger and bigger, and you'll get freebies from the business establishments, the suppliers that you work with, and you get a chance to work with different people. And one thing that I love is knowing that they're really satisfied with the work that we're doing.
Have you ever planned organize your outside Bohol? Ano sila organize your outside Bohol happen?
Actually, yes, I started that, but that's not that, for me, I would not consider it as big as that event. Usually, like weddings, they will have their photo shoot. They try to contact me to have or to direct the shoots outside Bohol, but the wedding will happen here in the province. But again, yes, I have tried that, but I would not consider it as big. But big events like here in Bohol, I have already tried some.
So in your opinion, why is it crucial to recognize the importance of pre-meeting activities, on-site activities, and post-meeting activities in event management?
Well, it's very important that you really have to have pre-meeting, because that's a time that you will have to make plannings, you strategize what are the things that you need to prioritize. That's the time that you really have to set your schedules with the people you work with. You have to set also the schedules, the deadlines, and of course on-site, because it's a time that you really have to look at on what are the things that you need to work on. And of course, right after the event, you really have to evaluate what are the things that you need to improve, what are the things that, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. So it will be better that right every after event, you have some tools that would really make you improve and become better and better. Okay, so it's very important that you have to what do you call this? You have to evaluate things, what's happened from the very start to the end, and it's very important that during those process, you really have an effect. You really have to communicate with the people you work with, because I work with big groups, not only 1, 2, but I have people who work with me. At the same time, I work with other people. Like if they need my service, I work with them. But if I need their service, they work with me. Just like that.
So have you ever done encounter a problem, sir, at the day of the event, and how did you solve it?
Many times, but many times I have encountered that, especially if you work with people that they don't have the same passion as you are, they don't have the same energy, because again, they just work for the benefit of they can earn something after, but they don't think of the love of that work. So I have tried and I have worked with people with and I have encountered problems during the event. But as much as possible, I try to keep myself composed during the time, because if you get panic, then that's the time that everything will ruin and everything will not go to your plan. So what you try is try to think of options, plans, or mga strategies. What are the strategies? What if this if this plan will not work? What will be your option? What will be your remedy? What will be your other things that you need to do? Okay, kung magsalit ka sa only one plan, then if it does not work, then everything will not work. So you really have to make plans.
When organizing several events, how do you properly handle and manage?
When organizing
Several events, how do you properly handle and manage your time?
okay. Time management for me, I am very meticulous when it comes to time, because I am very particular with time, because time is very crucial when you do the strategic planning. Of course, the meeting, that's the time you organize. That's the time that you really organize the things that what to prioritize. Especially if during the event, I see to it that all my people who are working with me, they give value and importance to time. They set priorities, what to prioritize, what is the most urgent and the least one. You have to weigh in what is the most important and the least important. And meeting schedules and deadlines, because before, I'm a deadliner. I love working when it's almost the deadline, but right now I think it will not work for me anymore. So I have to of course distribute the labors with my workers, and I would manage my time by preparing all the things that I need to prepare ahead of time. Dili na ano po tayo mag-dali-dali. Mas maayon lang ma-organize mo ahead of time. You really have to organize it before the event. And during the event, stress-free na. HM students, I was being interviewed with tourism, the same questions. That's why when I saw the question that was sent to me, amawala mo na yung mga question that was asked previously when I was working as a tourism officer, being an organizer. Well, I was invited also to talk to HR students or tourism management students. So when I was in as a tourism officer, way back then, so that was 2016 to 2019. Well, I decided to really focus on being a teacher, but I never stopped of handling events. If there are time, then I would still organize and do event planning.
And what makes it successful?
Okay, a lot. So every time, I would consider all of the events that I have handled, I did it successfully. For the reason that, of course, you will be able to get recognition, appreciation from people. They would see your work, and they would really appreciate how you handle the work. So one thing that would make me say that it's successful, because I can see to my clients that they are satisfied, they are happy with what I am doing, they're happy with the outcome of the event. So basically, I could consider if I was able to make my people happy, the people working behind the success of the event, I could consider that as a successful event.
Okay, alright, sir. So let's go over last question. So how do you ensure that events run smoothly and meet the expectations of clients?
you really have to have good communication first with the client, with the people you're working with. You have to strategize. You have to have planning. You really have to it's either you have to work hand in hand with people you're working with, the suppliers, the people working behind your team, of course your client, and to have a smooth transition of the event. You see to it that every now and then you have to check what are the things that you need to do. You need to prioritize. You need to weigh in which is the urgent one and the least one. Para during the event, as I said, it's no longer that stressful. Okay? So I've learned so many things. Before I am a deadliner, I've always loved to work during that event. Ano na ko, mugana mo ko. Ano na mugana mo to during the event. Okay? I'm pressured. The more I'm pressured, the more na my mind will work. But if dili ko pressure, I'm so relaxed, I'm so chill, dili pa mugana, yabok pa yung mga ideas. No ideas that will come new, no new ideas will come up in the event. So, ano na siya magawas ko during the event. And even I have sleepless nights. Kanang 3 days, 4 days before the event, or 2 days before the event, that's the time that it will pop up.
So what can you advise to us if ever we are planning to get organized?
Just make sure that you really love what you're doing. Because even if you want to venture in that kind of business, but if you don't have the passion, if you don't love what you're doing, then it will not fun. Siguro maybe because I'm very imaginative, I'm a very creative person. Siguro I can consider myself as I'm very successful with this field because I love this. Because if you don't love, I've been to many types of work. Pero again, nakita na ko my happiness is here. My happiness is in this business. So I've been teaching, but then again, what naman kung ang pagka-event organizer? If I have time, if makakita ko even sa school, I organize events. Even sa school, I organize, I plan. I make sure every year, different events mo i-organize. Dili ba ba? Doon kay, ma-excite mo ito. Mas ganun ko mga ideas mo gawas. Ganun. So, mauram ko na, if you really love what you're doing, then you'll be successful. If you're not happy with it, then look for something that will make you happy.
Thank you for